Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Mr. G. I am your weatherman, your meteorologist. Thank you for joining me today on your Thursday afternoon. I hope you guys are having a great day today and that your week was going okay too. But I got a weather forecast for you guys, and we're going to jump into those maps right now and take a look at our first map. And I'm going to show you where some wet weather is taking place right now and even some thunderstorms. Some of them might be on the strong side, might could see the possibility of some severe thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley and in portions of the upper Midwest later on today. And we're looking at that beautiful dry weather across the West finally. So enjoy that while it lasts, because it's not going to last, because we do have another round of rain that you're going to go through there across the West Coast and down through the state of California. So let's get to our first map and take a look at what's going on out there. These are our current conditions, and we are looking at that rain, those thunderstorms out here in the Ohio Valley, through parts of the interior of the Northeast and down through the Mid-South along the Appalachian Mountains here. And we're seeing some rain and some thunderstorms as well. Some severe weather is going to be possible here over the eastern areas of the Ohio Valley, western Pennsylvania, West Virginia. We have an area of thunderstorms moving through that area right now, and we saw some hail back over towards southern Illinois and into parts of Indiana as well. We saw thunderstorms produce some hail earlier. There were some severe thunderstorms over that area. Mostly dry weather out west right now. A few areas might be picking up some snow across the Rockies, a few spotty snow showers, and maybe a few spotty rain showers in the Pacific Northwest right now as well. But it's mostly dry on the West Coast. 95% of you, or 98% of you, are experiencing dry weather across over the western half of the country. And not to forget those warm temperatures out there. Look how beautiful those temperatures are. Look at those 70s down across Texas, East Texas and Southern Texas, even those 60s and 70s along portions of the Gulf Coast, down into Central and South Florida. We're looking at those 70s, but we're looking at those 60s going up the eastern seaboard. They're up there towards the mid-Atlantic, near Virginia. We're seeing those 60s and upper 50s make it all the way up there. Temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s, all the way up into Minnesota. Once again, we are looking at highs today in the upper 40s to lower 50s across the Twin Cities. So beautiful day today. Beautiful day across Wisconsin with those temperatures out there in the 50s across southern Wisconsin. So Madison, Milwaukee, down Racine, your areas are seeing beautiful, nice temperatures today. And we're looking at those nice temperatures across the Southwest. Look at those upper 50s in Southern California, lower 60s across the desert Southwest. But we're seeing those temperatures in the 30s and 40s through the Rockies, and we're seeing those temperatures approach 50 across the Pacific Northwest. So a beautiful day out there across America, where most of you are enjoying some dry weather, but that wet weather is across portions of the east. So with that wet weather, we got to talk about the dew points. That dew point is the amount of moisture in the air, and that tells us where we're going to see rain and thunderstorms more than likely. Look at the dew points down here across South Texas. Dew points in the lower to mid 60s, 64 down there by Laredo, 60 down by Galveston. So we are seeing those warmer, higher dew points. Those dew points coming up in the upper 50s. So we're seeing that moisture being pulled up here across the Mid-South, Appalachia, and into the Ohio Valley, which is where we are seeing thunderstorms today and some severe thunderstorms possible. And that's one of the ways we tell and predict where we're going to see severe thunderstorms. We look for higher dew points for the most part. So if you reach dew points in the 60s, that's pretty humid. So it's starting to feel pretty sticky down there across South Texas with those temperatures in the mid-70s. So it probably feel like those temperatures are in the lower to mid-80s right now with those higher dew points. So here's the wind speeds across the country. You know, we're always looking at windy weather across the plains and the high plains. So again, it's quite breezy across the upper Midwest because we have that air coming down off of the Rockies. So that air flows down off of the Rockies, so it's often pretty breezy because the air flows from high to low. We have low pressure over the east, mainly that big storm, but we have a big ridge of high pressure over the intercontinental region, the continental divide there. We're seeing that high pressure, that big ridge of high pressure over Utah and Colorado. So we have those winds on the leeward side of the Rockies into the high plains. So we're seeing those winds there around the 30 mile per hour or so in some areas. So we're going to be seeing windy conditions here across the mid-south and the southern plains and into the Midwest as well, because we have upsloping into the Appalachian Mountains, and we have that storm system there, so we have winds because of that storm system and the pressure gradient. So we're seeing a little bit of windy and breezy conditions. So all in all, not too bad out there. And this is the rainfall that we've seen over the last 24 hours, and we've seen about an inch of rain through parts of the upper Midwest there across Illinois, Indiana, and into Ohio. We've seen some rain there through Pennsylvania and West Virginia as well. And we're also looking at some snow up there, some rain up in parts of northern Michigan. We've seen some showers and thunderstorms down here across Oklahoma, north of Tulsa and Joplin, Missouri. We saw some rain and thunderstorms, and parts of northern Arkansas as well. There were some showers and thunderstorms, and we're seeing some spotty showers over my shoulder there in the Pacific Northwest. In Oregon and Washington, we had some rain over the last 24 hours, generally less than a half inch of rain for the most part in that region as well. And here is a look at our current sky conditions. We see those clouds out there over the upper Midwest and the Northeast, and over the mid-Atlantic and into the Great Lakes, and we can see those lightning strikes there. We have clusters of thunderstorms out there moving across the upper Midwest and through the Ohio Valley. So we're going to keep an eye on those storms as they work their way through toward the mid-Atlantic and across the state of Pennsylvania through the remainder of the day here. And here is your forecast for this afternoon, and we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon out there from parts of Kentucky, northern Mississippi. We're seeing it over northeastern Arkansas and down through southern Missouri. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms across southern Illinois, Indiana, and there are some storms over Ohio and into Pennsylvania, and we're going to be seeing rain all the way across upstate New York, and the nearest snow is actually across the border up into Canada and Quebec. It's where we're seeing the nearest snow, the closest snow to us here in America. So mostly rain over the northeastern quarter of the country, and a few rain showers over parts of the Pacific Northwest, but not a whole lot of rain out there. Very light stuff and dry weather down the West Coast to the Mexican border, where we're not seeing much in the way of rainfall this afternoon. So as we take a look at our forecast for this evening, it's going to look like much of the same this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms will continue from parts of the south along the Appalachian Mountains up into the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast. We are going to see some showers and thunderstorms. Some areas might pick up a few snowflakes in the higher elevations of the Cascade Mountain Range, and maybe the highest mountain tops above 6,000 feet there in the Appalachian Range. So again, mostly rain and some thunderstorms, but not much in the way of snow across the eastern U.S. The middle of the country, from Canada down to Mexico and the Gulf, beautiful weather, very, very nice, warm temperatures as well, at least as far as you're going to get in the month of February, with temperatures in the 70s and lower 80s down across the deep south there along the Gulf Coast and southern Mexico, southern Texas near the Mexican border. And we're going to be looking at nice weather on the West Coast for the most part as well. We do have another big storm out there over the Pacific that's going to sit and spin for a couple of days before making landfall across parts of the Northwest and Northern California later this weekend and early next week. And that storm is going to play a role in the severe weather that we're going to see next week, and the possibility of some snow across the upper Midwest and the northern plains. So we're going to keep monitoring that, because even that's not set in stone. There's a lot of model pushback on the possibility of a late February storm across Minnesota and the Dakotas and Montana and Wyoming. We can see some snow over that region, but there is more certainty over the Dakotas and Montana and Wyoming, but not so much for southern Minnesota. Northwestern Minnesota, I think it's a better bet. But from the Twin Cities southward, I don't think it's going to be that set in stone. It might be a cold rain or a rain and snow mix, but not much in the way of accumulation for snow, as we don't really have cold air in place for this storm to tap into to produce a lot of snow. So here we are as we talk about this current storm that's moving across the eastern half of the United States. And we are going to be looking at that storm, and that originated from that western storm that brought a lot of that rain and flooding into California. But we're going to see that heavy rain impacting the Ohio Valley today, and we're going to see little snow expected due to the warm temperatures. All right, so here's your rain still to come across the Ohio Valley, generally less than an inch or less. But if you're here over southwestern Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, southward, and Allentown, you guys are going to pick up still that possibility of 1 to 2 inches for some areas through parts of southwestern Pennsylvania and northern West Virginia. We're going to see that rain there through cold country, all right? And we're going to see the possibility of flash flood. So we have it possible that we can see some excessive rainfall. That could lead to a little bit of flooding or flash flooding through especially the hilly areas down through Kentucky and West Virginia and southern Ohio in particular, where we can see that, in southern Indiana as well. We can see that potential for some flooding. Here is your radar, future radar. This is what we're going to see later tonight. So about 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to see all that rain moving out of the Ohio Valley and into cold country and into parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. It's going to be all rainfall, no snow expected, and we're going to see that continue for Friday, and it's about Friday afternoon. So about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be seeing that rain beginning to move offshore and things beginning to settle down. So the I-95 corridor will still be in the thick of the rain, but further west, we're going to see much less in the way of rainfall and conditions steadily improving. We'll see a little bit of snow. Some of you are going to pick up 1 to 3 inches across Maine and maybe parts of Concord, like down to Vermont. We're going to see that potential for 1 to 3 across central Vermont. Otherwise, it's going to be 1 inch or less. So a little bit of light snow expected through Saturday across the New England areas of Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, okay? So we got that late February storm to talk about, that potential that we're going to see probably about Tuesday or Wednesday. That storm system is going to come off the west coast, come across the northern part of the country. So we're going to see this storm system move across the Rockies and into the upper Midwest, the northern plains. We're going to see that low eject out of Colorado into Nebraska and South Dakota. So this is what we call a Colorado low. Typically, this track is often productive for making snow up here in Minnesota. And what we can see is that if we're going to see snow, it's going to be over mainly central Minnesota, down through central South Dakota, and northwestern Nebraska is where we can see the majority of snow. But if we could see a little bit of snow, maybe 1 inch or so here across the Twin Cities, if that, but it could mostly be a cold rain or a mix of rain and snow here across the Twin Cities. The more heavier snow or the more genuine snow is going to be to our northwest, central Minnesota into northern Minnesota. But to the east, we're going to see severe weather from Louisiana, Arkansas, through Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, and into Ohio is where we're going to see that severe weather for Thursday. By the time we get into Thursday and that low gets into the northeast there, into the St. Lawrence River Valley, through parts of Toronto to Ontario, Canada, and Quebec. So once that storm make it out there, it's going to drag that moisture and that severe weather right along that cold front with it, okay? So here we are. This is our jet stream that we're going to see early next week. And we're going to see that colder air. So we're going to see some very good snow fall across the Cascades into the Rockies. So lots of good snow over the Rocky Mountains, parts of the northern plains, Montana and Wyoming. But it gets iffy as we head into North and South Dakota. I think we'll see snow, but certainly not the benefit of the snow across the Rockies. But we will see some snow in the Dakotas and northern Minnesota. I think it's iffy for southern Minnesota and the Twin Cities. I think the snowfall will be iffy. We will see a cold rain. If I'm being honest here, maybe a mix, a few flakes might mix in. It might get colder. And if we see snow, it's going to be at the very end once the precipitation band is coming to an end. It's when we see snow. But if you're here, if you're south of that front in the jet stream, all that energy, this is that warm southerly flow. So we're going to see those thunderstorms across the southern area south of that jet stream. So that severe weather down towards the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, through the Mississippi River Valley there, Missouri, down across Kansas, and through Oklahoma and Texas, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee. We can see those showers and some severe thunderstorms as we head into the middle part of next week. And here is another look at that setup. Again, we're going to see that heavy rain and thunderstorms, that warm, moist air. We're going to see those temperatures really go up. We're going to see temperatures in the 60s and 70s all the way up into parts of the Northeast. We're going to see that warm up here across the eastern U.S. We're going to see that warm up in the Minnesota and Wisconsin as well. We're going to see those temperatures in the 60s. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 70 over southern Minnesota, or maybe even in Iowa, like near Mason City or Des Moines. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 70. We're going to see some 70s in Illinois, so Chicago. We're going to see a 70 next week, so get ready for that beautiful warm-up and get ready for those thunderstorms as well, because it's going to be rocking and rolling. We can see a tornado outbreak next week. That's no joke. So a pretty serious tornado outbreak is going to be possible about midweek next week as well, so get ready for that, all right? So here we are again with those thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing all the way up into Michigan, some thunderstorms. And we're going to see the heavy rain and those warm temperatures, but we're going to see that cold air on the backside of that low, and that cold air is going to come down across the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming, and northwestern Minnesota is where we're going to see the brunt of that colder air. But we will see those temperatures come down from those 50s and 60s into those 30s and maybe even some 20s across the upper Midwest and the northern plains, okay? So we have our severe thunderstorm outlook for next Tuesday. So we're going to have a quiet weekend for the most part. But Tuesday we're going to see a nice outbreak of severe thunderstorms here across parts of the Mississippi River Valley. So Oklahoma, northern Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, we're going to see those severe thunderstorms, as well as into Wisconsin, we can see some severe thunderstorms. And those severe thunderstorms are actually going to come rather close to Minnesota. I think we'll see some thunderstorms on Tuesday here in the Twin Cities, but maybe some isolated severe, not enough to be in this watch area. So we could see some thunderstorms, a lot of areas across the upper Midwest next week. And as we head into Wednesday, we are going to see those thunderstorms expand and shift a little bit to the east, where we're going to see those storms coming into the Ohio Valley, Indiana. We're going to see them down through Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and through Louisiana as well. We're going to see those severe thunderstorms. And with those severe storms, we're going to see tornadoes, damaging winds, and we're going to see large hail as well. Heavy rain that will produce some flooding. Again, here's a look at those temperatures. We are going to see Kansas City with a high temperature of 78 degrees on Tuesday. 82 in Oklahoma City. God damn. Unbelievable. 52 in Santa Fe, New Mexico. No, but look at it, it's cold in Casper, Wyoming. 17 in Casper with some snow, and ridiculous winds will be blowing across the plains in South Dakota. We're going to see a temperature of 44, but we're going to see some rain showers up here in Minnesota. So the temperatures are still going to be in the low 50s in the Twin Cities, with maybe even 60 with some rain showers on Tuesday. Okay, so here's Wednesday. We're going to see Cincinnati with a high of 61, 67 in Nashville, 75 in Birmingham, 74 in Charlotte, 69 in the nation's capital, 59 up there in Buffalo, 58 in Chi-Town, St. Louis at 59, 65 in Little Rock, and Wichita, 44 degrees with ridiculous winds and maybe some snow or rain in your area. But we're going to see those thunderstorms in Chicago, thunderstorms in St. Louis, thunderstorms in Little Rock, thunderstorms in Birmingham, thunderstorms in Nashville, thunderstorms in Cincinnati, rain in Buffalo, and rain eventually in D.C. and Charlotte. So get ready for some wet weather. Some of y'all get ready to button down hatches. Get ready for those severe thunderstorms as they roll through your area in your neighborhood, okay? All right, so that is a look at your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G, your meteorologist. Thank you for joining me today. Leave it locked to the channel for those updates, and I'll let you know what's happening. If things get stupid, we'll break, maybe do a live video. I'm getting up my confidence to do a live. I've been vehemently against lives because I think it just breeds narcissism. That's why I don't do them. I don't want to be a narcissist or anybody accusing me of being a narcissist. I don't want that. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it works out. But thanks for watching. Leave your likes, comments, subscribe to me on YouTube. Check me out on TikTok. Go ahead and leave a follow. Tell me to shut the F up if you need to. Or say, hey, keep going. But whatever you got to say, just, hey, freedom of speech, right? All right, keep it real, everybody. Bye-bye. See you later.